Hey everybody, what's up, peeps? Here with Jinx. I had some technical difficulties for a couple minutes, but we're here kind of just to shoot the shit. And I'll say hi to everyone real quick, and then Jinx could say hi, and we could talk about kind of whatever you want. I have a couple points, but if you guys have different cases or theories on things, as long as they're cool, we could discuss them. Reg, Just Deb, Honeybee. All right, so we got 8 right now. Hopefully, more jump in. Uh, I just came up with this today. I wasn't doing anything tonight. I didn't see a lot going on tonight. Later on, I saw some other people had stuff, but just think it's a good time. There's a lot going on, so I'll let Jinx open up, and if whatever she wants to tell you about yesterday was a pretty big day, right, Jinx? So
Yes,
go ahead.
yes,
The floor
yes.
is yours.
Well, so yesterday we went to Crown Hill Cemetery, and Galen got to pick out everything. We got the paperwork signed, ready to go. So now it's just a little bit of the waiting game before they can get it, in and everything and installed. But she ordered exactly what she wanted and where she wanted it, and then in addition, she went ahead and got the plot next to the girls that was vacant and put that on hold for her to,
Good.
make installments and stuff. Yeah, because the foundation is what's taking care of the girls, all four of the girls, Kiara, Cariel, Keone, and oh my gosh, Kiara, Kiana, Cariel, Keone. Sorry, there's so
There you
many
go.
girls. I got four younger siblings myself, so I get mixed up with my other siblings. But yeah, but like I said, everything's done. I mean, I've got paperwork. I've got a picture of the paperwork. It's just, there's some personal stuff on there. I don't really want to share that, but just know that everything is all done. Like signed. They're just gonna install it now, and as soon as they give us some updates, I will give everybody else some updates. Kathy Killendenning has been giving me all the updates as of right now. You guys, Galen is so amazing. She is just like she's such a trooper. She's such a trooper.
Yeah, she really is. And anything else you want to like anything you want to sum up for from yesterday? I don't know if you watched Rick's live, but he talked about a couple things,
Sorry.
court wise and stuff like that. But anything else, you I could relay the message, but you were kind of there. So if you're okay, what do you want to tell him like about court? Rick
Yeah.
already talked
So
about it.
right. So, as of right now, they are in the works of negotiating a settlement. That doesn't mean that it's going to go through, you guys. I do know that the judge was like, what were you kind of thinking? And Galen kind of hesitated, and then he just threw out a number, and boy, it was a good number. But I don't think, like I said, there's still some negotiations to be done. Troy Hilderman and Josh Ayers did not show their faces, of course, didn't expect that. They had their lawyers there or their attorneys there, and they didn't give them permissions or privileges, I guess, to negotiate any talks of any kind of money. So just got to wait for them to get back and figure everything out. They did go ahead and say that the house could be demolished. They put in for an order for it to be demolished. Again, that's not 100%. There still can be some negotiations go on. I mean, there's some options with that land right now that are still being discussed. So it's still kind of in a limbo state. But y'all, this is amazing. The judge was so wonderful. He was so kind. Like, I mean, he was just like this. He even said from his own mouth, you guys, like, this just smells like corruption. Period. Like this is not okay.
And this was
So
this was a federal judge, right? So he's not like really tied to the area.
nope.
Sounds like more. We need more of that.
I know, right? So exciting. I was just like, I was over the moon, y'all. I mean, I was trying to absorb as much information, but it was the first time I got to meet Galen face to face. So, like, if y'all, I mean, people who've met me in the cookout and stuff, they know, like, I'm just a bottle of energy, and, like, I get wound up, and it's hard to pay attention sometimes. So,
Yeah. Jinx, do you know that who's on the hook or who has to pay the money to have the house torn down?
oh, that'll be on Josh and Troy's dime.
Okay, so they actually will have to pay. So they're not going to try to have the town or anything like that.
Mm-mm. Nope, that's on them boys.
So do you know if they
From my
planned on?
understanding. From my
You know,
understanding, it's on Troy and Josh Ayers.
okay, now I could be way off here, but what we need to watch now is to make sure that with the power that they flex on the town council and that they don't somehow come up with funds from the town to say, oh, we need this taken down. We'll use the town money. It's a good thing, blah, 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 to try to get them off the hook for money. Because I've seen that happen in my area where people try to do shit like that. And that's what I mentioned. If it was being taken over by the town, then they tear it down, then they get the property. That was my idea when in my video where I said a park, basketball hoops, whatever, you know what I mean? Something like that.
Right. Yes. I mean, they put up the bench, and it's got all 6 of the Carroll County girls' names on it, but they don't really maintain that. It's weird, like they don't keep up with it and stuff. So that's kind of frustrating. I'm gonna drop a link in the chat in just a second, and if you guys have any questions, concerns, whatever, you can actually just contact the city of Flora yourself.
There you go. Excellent.
So there's that. Let's see.
I just put put the link up again. Oh wow, cool.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's the Dave. What's up, Dave? Dave, if you want to come up, man. It's early for you, isn't it, Dave? Dave, you don't wake up. I don't see you till after 9. I got in a live stream. Well, he just got off the air. It was 5 a.m. last week. We had bad storms at night, and my dog woke me up. He jumps in the bed. So I didn't wake up, and my girlfriend hit me to let me know the dog's in the bed. So he's scared. What do you want me to do? So we're up. It's 4:45. I'm like, well, come on. And Dave had just finished up. Dave, also, if you want to get in the fantasy football league. But, yeah.
So I just got that link for you guys. Hi, Dave. Hi, Honeybee. Just Deb, Reggie. Hi, guys. Yeah. It's real good to see you. James Harris. I've never recognized that name, too. You've been around.
And you have to think, you really, really have to think that maybe it's just, me having wishful thinking, but I think everybody that talks Flora, you got to start with Meow, and everyone that's picked up, Rick Snade did stuff, Flora Week, all kind of people did. People that don't even like each other on
right.
YouTube,
we all pulled together and did
during Flora Week.
So many creators did a little.
And you can't tell me that doesn't make a difference. And I'm not saying it did with this federal judge, but he was like, I'm not going to sign this. These people will be on me, or they'll be calling me out or whatever. Or maybe he just has a good heart and he's a good guy. But I got to think it matters. I think it mattered in Delphi. And hopefully they have the right guy. And I think it matters now. I really do.
Well, I think this is something to take note of, because I know that, they had taken Galen back and whatnot. And the judge, whenever he went and took her back to talk to her in his little office, behind the thing or whatever, he had taken his robe off, and he was just kind of casually sitting there in his nice casual, dressy casual, however you want to say it, clothes. And when he went out to talk to the attorneys and hash a little bit more out, he didn't even put his robe back on. He was hot. He was hot to trot, y'all. She said he was just on a mission. Didn't even put his robe back on and went out into that courtroom and had his court, It
was almost like he went out there man to man, or judge to attorney, or not even judge to attorney, person to person. Listen, you motherfuckers better get this together.
I think that speaks volumes. You're not even going to be professional and get your robe back on and go out there, but you just right on out there that's I got so much positive energy from hearing their stories, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of weird things that I don't exactly know what I can and can't say myself right now. I know that Kathy has wanted to come live. She's had some personal stuff, so unfortunately I can't get her to come up today.
Kathy, if you're listening, our thoughts and prayers are with you.
I know. I'm so sorry, Kathy. I love you.
We'll hear from her soon, I'm sure. Kathy's tough cookie, like Galen. They're
man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they're amazing, y'all. Seriously, and Galen wants to, she doesn't want people to think that she doesn't care, but she does need closure, and I get it. I talked to her yesterday. She deserves it, and she does want justice for her babies. But as long as it's been as hard as it's been, if she can't actually get somebody to be held accountable for it. She and Kathy started a foundation. It's a 501c. They're getting everything set up so that they can actually help, other facilities. They were talking about doing the boys basketball team uniforms. There was some girls cheerleading stuff uniforms that they were gonna, donate the funds for through their foundation. There was also works of getting with the Boys and Girls Club to help with after school programs, for parents who can't afford to have a babysitter, and childcare, like while they're still at work, but the kids are out of school, technically, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like, she wants to help so many children. I mean, it's just, y'all, hearing her get so excited and express her ideas of how she wants to be proactive and help other children, like that is her whole goal right now. She just wants to help as many other children as she can. And you know what? I agree. And I love to help her. So that's my goal at this point.
Yeah, and it sounds like the stuff that she's picking is like things that the girls were into, cheerleading, basketball.
Yay.
So that's cool. That has that connection for her to, that's what I said when I said like whatever they do, they tear it down and city takes over the lot, basketball,
Right.
hoops, like is there, I don't know, for some kind of cheerleading. I don't know. I don't know anything about cheerleading, but something there, or just something where people ride past that house, they see, oh, there's kids running and playing. It looks nice. It's colorful. And I feel I'm torn because I don't want people to.
I don't want them to forget either. Somebody that was at the cookout. I don't know if anyways, well, he might be in here. His name is Mark. Okay, and on Discord today, like, y'all, I mean, with my morning coffee, I was just crying because he sent me a picture and he had his Flora hoodie on.
Oh yeah,
like,
Mark.
Yes, he was like, I'm proudly wearing my hoodie to work and making sure that people don't forget. And you know what? After hearing the demolition news and then seeing him do that this morning, I was like, nobody's gonna let these girls get forgotten just because that house is taken down. I wear my shirts all the time. All the time. I walk around locally, in Delphi, in Carroll County, in the next counties over, where I technically live, because I don't technically live in Carroll County. So
that's why when I did that show with EJ, and Silky's in here, by the way. Hi, Silky, who did the show there too. Okay. And I was like, I'm wearing I got the t-shirt. I didn't get the hoodie. I got the t-shirts, and one for me and my girlfriend. I was like, I'm definitely going to wear it that day. And so many people that I didn't even know, he has a lot of subscribers, and there's a good vibe over there. Really good vibe.
CJ's great, ain't he? I know.
People in his chat knew what the shirt was, and like I never heard of them before. And they're like, oh, that's the Flora shirt. So the word is spreading, and the more creators that we could get on it, the better it's going to be. And so there might reach a civil this or that, but like I was telling someone else before, it might have been in Discord. It might have been in Snae's chat. I'm not even sure. There's no statute of limitation on murder.
Right. No, there's not.
Nobody's stopping me from what I'm going to continue to do, and the people there. And again, the thing with the house, the only thing that you're tearing it down, I get it, but I just don't want people to forget. And just have an empty lot or build another house or something. So it has to be something where they're going to remember. Or if the people or the person or people that did it, maybe they ride past that house every day, and maybe they care, and maybe they don't. Or maybe one of them cares and one of them does, or who knows. But I just don't want people to forget. So at least if there's a park and like a nice mural, the benches are nice, but something nice and big there, and where you're inviting kids.
Memorialize the girls. I agree. Yeah. Like I said, there's not a definite on what's going to happen with the property. I think that there are still some options as the negotiations are being made that could be also made on that property.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see if heirs and Helderman want to rent that out again or renovate that. You know what I mean? If it's possible that
they'll make them. They've already put in for the demolish, and it's funny too because I know that they've been making repairs on that place, like they were gonna let it rent out again, but now they've got it put in for the petition to get it demolished. So they were gonna have to fight that, along with working these negotiations. And I just don't know. Like, I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't want to get presumptuous.
And I just think we have to watch. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. Maybe I'm full of shit, but don't just look for some kind of government money to tear a house down or something like that. That's not unusual. I'm in the inner city. The city probably tears down 80 vacant houses a year. 80 a year. I've been here for 22 years working, and they probably have dropped almost 2,000 houses. A couple of summers, they went really all in. We get these burning all the time, man. And It's homeless people that don't even mean to light it on fire because they're staying there,
Oh
but
yeah.
they fall asleep or
That's so
something, or
warm.
the neighbor gets pissed, and then they get money to do things like this. And there's a couple other landlords out there that
Right.
are very mischievous, and I'm tracking them too. One, there's a tornado, and then 15 miles away, this house catches on fire from a tornado. And no one seems to be like, well, wait a minute, that was 15 miles away. Everyone's like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
from a tornado. That ain't how that shit works. I'm telling you right now, that's not how that shit works.
No, I got uncles that were firefighters. They would have done
Yeah,
told me that was bull.
if tornado hits your house, it's a different story. But you're 15 miles away, and no one else has any damage around you, but your house, So
Right.
I don't know. Ruckus here. Yeah, talked about Ruckus coming in tonight. He's always invited. Ruck's working hard. And I was said this in Discord, I think. You watch. No pressure, but Ruckus and Steve are going to be the first true crimers to really get a case to fall. Maybe short of Michelle McNamara, who was on the Golden State Killer, who named the Golden State Killer. She wasn't like directly involved, but she was. But their work with Evansville guys, if you go watch Ruckus's videos, and Steve's always good. Steve and Mrs. Steve, I can never catch a live. He does them late shows, and he's like, an older guy, man. I'm 44, and it's like 10:30, and I'm ready to go to sleep. And I watch the replay of the midnight shows, and I don't know how much coffee he drinks, but he's all into it. And Ruckus and Steve's stuff in Evansville was great. Everybody,
Yes, I loved all that. I loved it. It was so fun to meet him at the cookout too. He's a real sweet guy.
Yeah. Well, I hope to be able to meet you guys soon here for without getting too in depth. I don't think anyone would be after me, but I'd rather come in kind of sneakily,
Right.
just pop up. But there's significant pre-Thanksgiving anniversary, and that would be what I would be looking at. Whether the place is still standing or not, I think that'd be significant. And maybe I don't know, maybe we could do something and whatever fundraising type thing or something. Yeah, we'll talk, but yeah. So
well, you let me know because I love to do that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get people. You obviously want to talk to Meow and Kathy and Galen. Thank you, Ruckus. I know Ruckus is busy. Ruckus is working. I mean, he is, and I think he's producing results. You're going to see results with him and Steve with what they got going on there.
With Evansville, oh man, I know. I can't wait.
Lipsha, how are you?
Hi, Lipsha. Hi, Tanisha.
Oh, is Tanisha in here too? I didn't see her.
She's adorable.
Yeah, Tanisha. I don't know if Tanisha, did you watch the thing I said last night, The Unraveling? She said she was going to watch it with Dr. Bricado and Dr. Burgess, two of the premier, criminal profilers in the country. I was pumped last night. I was watching Dr. Bricado, and there was like 4 or 5 things that I talked about yesterday in the little live I did. And there was organized, disorganized, and they were just naming all this stuff. And one of the things Dr. Bricado says, and again, we don't know Delphi. We haven't seen the crime scene photos. Neither is he. Right. He said the same as me. He thinks that, and this is my opinion, and it's not that I get ridiculed, but it's not a popular opinion. More people think opposite. Abby was the target. That's what I thought from what I learned. And Dr. Bricado said the same thing. He's like, I think that Abby was the target. And I think we're going to see that just in a projection and stuff, that what we think we know. And some things seem to be on the right. One was treated really, not gently, but one was treated in a certain way. And one was more, just absolutely, I don't even know the word to use. He brutalized. And he kind of made the same thing. Like one was in the way of him getting this other thing going on. But is it one? Is it more than one? I don't know how you feel, Jinx. I went back and forth. I have different POIs. I'm glad I never named any of them out.
Right? Yeah, I'm glad I didn't name nobody or point no fingers. Let me tell you. I mean, I might have been leaning for a minute and been like, but I never said one way or another.
When you listen to these, both of them, I think last night, Bricado and Burgess thought there's probably more people involved. It showed organization and disorganization. He left the phone. They have a video of him on the bridge. An organized guy wouldn't have let that happen. And then you look at the scene that's posing, staging, whatever you want to call it, maybe both. that's all organization. That's not disorganization. So could it
Yeah.
be one organized and one disorganized? Could you have like a pupil mentor? Usually, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I've been wondering too. I don't know if I necessarily buy the lone wolf theory anymore at all whatsoever. I thought for maybe a minute, but now it's just like I just have a hard time wrapping my head around lone wolf.
Jinx probably could help you, Gladys, with this question. There are 2 floors on the map in that area. Which is the right one? I didn't know there was even 2. You help her, Jinx? Is one across state lines or something?
Well, okay, so Flora, the city of Flora is in Monroe Township, which is in Carroll County. So if you look at Monroe Township, you'll see the city of Flora. That's usually probably the easiest way to find it.
And it's very close to Delphi, right? If you're looking at
Yep,
a map,
like,
I mean, it's probably, just a couple miles.
I can make it in like 7 minutes, dude.
So if you're looking, it's really
Literally.
close. No, Charles, we don't need the comp. We don't need 2 Floras.
No.
Just
No,
a little bit.
hard pass.
Well, Ron, there's Reg being Reg.
Oh Lord.
Hey, Tanisha. There's Tanisha. How are you? Yeah, if anybody watched it or you didn't, if you're into criminal profiling, the unraveling last night, I don't even know their names. It's 2 ladies and a guy, all very young people. I'm 44. I could say that they're very young, 20s. And it was a good show. They talked actually a lot about Delphi. Dr. Bricado wanted to talk a lot. You actually heard Dr. Ann Burgess. And if you don't know who Dr. Ann Burgess is, and if you ever watched the show Mindhunter, the woman, Wendy Carr, is based on Dr. Ann Burgess. There's a lot of changes with her character, but so they're unbelievable. And they talked a lot about Delphi, and it was really, really interesting because I never heard, short of Jim Clemente and John Douglas, in just very small intervals, talk about Delphi. John Douglas basically said they blew it early on. And they're not going to be able to solve it. That's what he thought after like 6 months. He's like, they should have done XYZ, blah, blah, and they didn't do any of it. So forget about it.
Yeah, I know. It was a hot mess, that's for sure. I just
so everyone kind of knows what's going on with Flora. The news kind of came out yesterday. Well, it did come out yesterday. I don't know if they knew ahead of time what it might happen, but with the house and then, the lawsuit thing, the whatever's happening there, they're figuring that out. Delphi, there's been Delphi's Delphi. People are like, oh, there's nothing going on in Delphi. There's always something going on in Delphi. Someone's always saying something, whether it's true or not. There was rumors of DNA in a car, some kind of DNA in Richard Allen's car. I can't confirm that anywhere. I heard some creators talking about it. I can't say for sure. I think that, and we were talking about this, I bet it was Snae's chat today. Oh, yeah, it was a Kim Riley interview where Kim Riley, if you ever go back and watch, he seems like a nice enough guy, but he spills the beans a lot. Like he's maybe not supposed to.
I was like, is this accidentally on purpose or purposely accidentally? Or
he does it a couple times. They. No disrespect. No disrespect to him at all, but he reminds me like Detective Drebin from Naked Gun. You know what I mean? Like nice looking guy, great hair. Hey, like great guy, but sometimes he just says stuff. So in the Michael Catt interview, it's like as if this guy never committed a crime. And he's like, well, do you have like fingerprints or DNA? And he's like, I can't say that, but it's like so to me, that's almost a confirmation that they had something that they were able to run against something and nothing came back. Could that be true? I don't know, but the early interviews, go back and watch a lot of the early interviews, guys. There's so much good information in there before things got clamped down. So let's see if anyone else. Oh, Bossy's in here.
Bossy. I love her so much. She's like the greatest.
Yeah, Bossy. I don't know if she would want to come up or not, or on my Discord, we started a tab with Larry Hall. A bizarre case. We were talking about it in Discord, and I was like, hey, I don't know anything about it. She shared a ton of information. I watched a little show on it last night, and it's beyond bizarre. You got these brothers, and one of them's like developmentally challenged, and he's like, is he the killer? Or it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
cases are crazy. There's been a lot of John Benet Ramsey stuff talk. That was way before my time. My mom was into that. I remember her buying all the magazines at the checkout. Oh my God, the aliens abducted John Benet. I got to read that. I'm like, Mom,
Tabloids.
that's probably not what happened, Mom. But she's like, well, you never know. There's information in here. So
Oh my goodness.
there's been a lot.
George took out tabloids.
Yeah, and I don't understand that. I'm not too into that case. I have my own theory about it with the pineapple and the fingerprints, and there's no footprints outside, and is she ambidextrous or not? But I really don't even know enough to comment. Yeah. But from what I understand, that was like one of the original cases, like the internet age, that turned true crime. It started like true crime, but it also turned this ugly underbelly of true crime that we see. That's we're not going to talk about because we're upward and onward here. But so you're going back into the 90s, and again with the psychology thing that I'm into, it just shows like the human condition. People come here for the best of intentions, probably 95% of them with the best of intentions, and then they get so passionate about something, something goes haywire in them, and I don't even know how to explain it. But I think that when I got here, I kind of found my tribe of people, if you will, and Discord on here through emails. And I think that if you could settle in with like your group of people here, everyone kind of looks out for each other, and reins people back in when they're, hey, you're acting, settle down, don't get too crazy. And so I think that's really cool. And I see that now, like CJ and Doggo they have a couple thousand subscribers, and that's a good crowd of people they have there. But
the Evil CJ show was the first one that let me come up on his panel one night. It was late, and it was like we had been talking, and then I kind of mentioned it in his chat, and then like he was like, "Jump up on panel, tell me about it." And then we watched your live the dash cam footage, and I was just like, "Yeah, I know. Wait, you can hear him busting out windows in there." And then like he pushed the t-shirt fundraiser sales for me too. Like one lady in his chat bought 7 shirts alone from
Oh wow, that's awesome.
For her and her family. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they do a lot. He does a lot of cool stuff. I jumped in with Doggo about a week ago. They were talking about BTK's daughter, Carrie. And since we're open true crime talk, they are actively investigating Dennis Rader for other murders that have happened, whether he did them or not. And people are like, why wouldn't he jump up and just say, yeah? They got to do their work and prove it and bring it to him first. Because I think with him, that's part of it. All right, if you win me over, I'll give it up. And if you show me you did your work, you did your due diligence, then I'll do my part, and I'll stand in court again for an hour and a half, and I'll recall every second of, what I did. And that he'd like an hour and a half confession in court. It's hard to watch because there's really no emotion there, but we know he's a narcissistic sociopath. And she mentions the story where he drops spaghetti, or the son dropped spaghetti on the floor one time, and how he was triggered by seeing that red on the carpet, because when he was doing that during his crime, he got to stop and clean that up. He was very meticulous. He was fastidious, I think is the word that John Douglas uses for these people. And he actually started choking her son. And then they were like, Dad, what are you doing? And he stepped back almost like a different person. So by that sight of that red on the floor, it triggered him in such a way. He was so compulsive, he couldn't control it. That's what these people, I think you're Rex Heuermann. I don't know if anybody wants to talk about any of that. We got more Riley jokes. They sacked Riley. Yeah. They like the Naked Gun. Again, Riley seems like a guy that would be like, hey, let's go watch a football game together and have a couple of beers. He'd be a blast. Maybe he would have been more like a community liaison officer where you go talk to people, not maybe in front of the media, but hey, send Sergeant Riley. There's a parade. Hey, everybody, but I didn't know Dr. Burgess played the piano. Yeah, I think Dr. Bricado always has a piano in his background. But if you ever, like I said, check them out. If you really want to get into it, watch my little thing I did yesterday and watch Dr. Bricado, because there were so many things that were said. They talked about Rex Heuermann's dad dying, the mom, what happened there. Something big happened there. Some kind of break. He was like 11 years old. And whether his dad was mean to him or whether his mom, whatever the case was, something happened there. And I don't think he ever recovered. With dad not there and mom there, usually it's mom's predatory or mom talks down to them, or, you know, Gary Ridgway's case, mom was, when he, you know, would go to the bathroom in the bed, had enuresis. She would wash him off at 12 years old with her bathrobe coming open. There's usually some kind of sick behavior there. So once dad died, what did mom do? Did she baby him too much? And I'm looking, I found one picture of his mom, and I'm telling you what, I think right away, Ed Kemper, and it looks to me like that he was killing surrogates. He never killed his mom like Ed Kemper did, though, because the red hair, I have a picture of her in high school with red hair, and she's kind of fine complected. That's why some of the other ones too, the Asian guy that was dressed as a woman, I don't think that that's even in his wheelhouse. I think that the internet search from that, where they call it Asian twink or whatever was the word that he used in the internet search, I think he searched that to see what that person looked like, because he had no idea, because that news was leaked out. You know, this is we don't know the identity, but they do know everyone's identity. They have identified all the bodies. They're waiting to identify next of kin, from what I can tell, unless they're holding it for some court reason. I can't imagine they could do that. But one of the problems is some of these people weren't ever reported missing. So they had to go back to do the genealogy and the DNA and stuff like that. But they were never reported missing. So they had no idea, no reference to even who they were. But
that's crazy. That blows my mind. Like, serial killers, I'm just really starting to kind of get in and figure them out. I don't understand the psychology behind them, but they're like, that fascinates me. I could listen to you talk about the serial killer episodes all night.
John Douglas has great books. I read them. I think all his Robert Ressler. And if you're not in the books or you don't have the time, go to Netflix and watch Mindhunter. There's two reasons to watch Mindhunter. And the first one is it's a really, really good show. And it's the characters that play the killers, Charles Manson, Ed Kemper, fantastic acting jobs. I mean, fantastic. And you can watch, there's on YouTube, you can look up the real versus the actor, and they do a good job. The second reason is there's several scenes shot in, would that be season one? Yeah, I think it was just season one, in McKeesport, where I live. They actually shot at our old Daily News building, which is right next to our fire station #1, when they're at the San Jose Police Department. And they take the dude's tire off the car as a joke. That is actually from our station 1. I could throw a baseball and hit it. It's the old Daily News building. There's scenes when they're in Atlanta, investigating Atlanta, and they're outside doing interviews and it's raining. That's called Upper 10th Ward, part of our town. So I'm trying to think of what else. There's also some inside scenes that they used. So they were actually filmed here. So that was cool. Our city electrician got to meet the guys, the guy that played Holden Ford and the guy that played Bill Tench. Now, Holden Ford is John Douglas, and Bill Tench is Robert Ressler, and Wendy Carr is Dr. Burgess in in real life. So, but yeah, have you seen that, Jinx? Have you watched Mindhunters?
I have watched a little bit, yeah, because you suggested it. I'm always on YouTube catching replays and stuff. I feel like I lost a lot of time yesterday, but it was so great. So I've been playing catch up all day today, getting back in the loop with stuff, you know, and trying to share what I can.
I feel like that when I'm at work and we're busy and I can't check my phone, and I'll look and it'll just be like YouTube messages, Discord, like alerts. I'm like, oh man, I hope nothing happened, or like no one got arrested that I didn't know.
I usually travel with bail money, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You might have to.
With my track record, I mean, you know, you never know.
Yeah, Bossy was in the chat last night with them on the Unraveling. It was really a good show. Recommend if you're into that type of stuff. But does anyone have any cases that they want to discuss that we don't know about? Do you have any theories on any cases? Do you want to know anything about Flora? We could answer. I don't know. Anything that you really want to talk about.
Oh, Linda Kay.
A lot
Gladys, you're so sweet, by the way.
Yeah, Charles, if you're talking about Edward Kemper, you're absolutely right. He even said that. Yeah. But these guys, some of these guys too, they don't shut up. I think that's what Heuermann's going to be like. But that's how they know so much about profiling and catching people, is because these guys tell you. Ted Bundy, you know, he helped catch Gary Ridgway somewhat. And what Ted Bundy told the detectives that was talking to him was he's going back to the scenes and he's committing necrophilia. And they said, why did you do that, Ted? And initially Ted said, no, I never did that. No, I never did that. But that's what these guys do. Obviously, later on, Ted admitted to doing it because Ted was kind of a little bit of a liar, but he was right. So that's not necessarily how they caught Gary Ridgway. It was kind of like a tip, the truck, the paint, that type of stuff. But he volunteered to help. And then he helped with the profile some. And that was one of John Douglas's big misses. John Douglas, when Gary Ridgway actually wrote a letter to one of the newspapers or the police department, might have been to the police. It was actually him, and John Douglas said this wouldn't be the killer. This wouldn't be him. And later on, it was proven it was Ridgway. And Ridgway was interviewed very, very early on. There was a lot of people. There was probably 30 guys interviewed in the first couple of weeks, and Ridgway was one of them. But yeah, that's a good question, Bossy. Did Galen say how she felt about the house getting torn down or maybe getting torn down?
Okay, so when we were on our way to the cemetery, Crown Hill Cemetery, I had gotten an alert. Well, somebody had sent me a link to the news article that was written out, and it was saying about the house and everything. And she's really glad, you guys. She's just like, yes, get it gone. Like, that is not how I want people to remember my child, like my babies. Seeing that and then having to remember them like that, like that's not really what she wants. And I get it, she's wanting to move forward. And I think that's really a good step for her. She's kind of been in this state of waiting for almost 7 years. It's like we are literally on the verge of being 6 years and 9 months, you guys. So, I mean, I understand she does. And I know that, she went to the house and was there and got to see it for the first time in all this time. So I think she's ready to have some closure on it, but it's not. She's put her boxing gloves on for sure. Okay, she's ready to fight. She's been quiet for a long time, but she does have intentions of moving forward and helping other kids. Like I said, the basketball thing, she was sorry, there's fly. She wants to raise money for the basketball team, and now that's closer to where she is, and it's like her nephews and stuff, and she knows the coach personally, so she could use her foundation to help give them the equipment and the clothes that they need to play basketball. The cheerleading thing here locally in Indiana, I know that Kathy Clendenning's daughters do the cheerleading thing, so they were definitely wanting to help provide some of the cheerleading outfits and things that they need to do their cheerleading thing. I don't know. I was never a cheerleader. That's not my forte.
Yeah. Well, I know like the travel basketball, I coach that, and any kind of travel sports.
Traveling fees, hotel fees, food, things like that. So yeah, the gas is taken to get there.
Some of the elite tournaments you go into too, it'll cost the team like $1,000 or $1,500 for the weekend. Now, if you have 10 kids on a basketball team,
exactly,
that's still $150. Plus, you're a parent. They charge you like $30 to get in for a full weekend. The cheerleading stuff's like it. Charles, Gary, U-Haul truck with evidence. What Gary is he talking about? Is he talking about, you're not talking about Mike, the fire investigator, are you? I'm not sure what Gary. Gladys had a question for you there, Jinx. If you were around when the murders happened and if the rumors started right away.
Are we talking about Delphi?
Yeah, I think she's talking Delphi. Let me scroll down here.
Yes, I was living in the Lafayette area in 2017. Yeah, I was. And there was, I mean, yeah, from one county to the next, there's definitely some chatter going on, but it was definitely a whodunit situation for everybody, like we just couldn't figure it out. It was, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Gary Ridgway. Did Gary Ridgway have a trailer? Let me look at that other question to make sure I get that right. He worked in a factory, a U-Haul truck with evidence too. Oh, I'm not sure about the U-Haul truck. I know that he had stuff in his. There was an apartment at that time. He had an apartment near the SeaTac Strip. But I'm not exactly. You could be right, or it could be someone else too. You know what? Oh man, I'm thinking of someone else that had a U-Haul trailer. It could be two guys. I can't think of who it is. But you could be right, or we could be mixing them up, and I can't think of either of them. So, Hiawatha. Yeah, I read your comment here. I don't think that he was putting it that way. Maybe you took it that way. We could each take it different ways, but I didn't think that he meant that. And we were talking in the chat during that. And like I said, that, there's still no statute on murder. And I don't think that
Right.
this is definitely goes away. But what he was saying was like, well, maybe if they didn't have any responsibility, they wouldn't even be considering this, is what I think Rick was like wafting, some kind of culpability to them, because obviously they're paying up.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not, it's not 100% accurate. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just now getting in the works to do the negotiation. There's
Oh, yeah,
other steps.
yeah.
I
Okay, I
mean,
see what you're saying.
we're literally on the first stepping stone of this path, you guys, and it is a path, but this is a stepping stone for this to get to where it needs to be.
Yes. No resolution of any kind, but we're down by a run in the ninth inning, and we got a guy on first.
Right. Yes.
So the game ain't tied yet, but
baseball. Yes.
another hit, a walk, something like that. So
Yes.
but
yes.
I could see where people could take it that way.
But again, this has nothing to do with the actual investigation.
Yeah,
That's totally separate.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm sure it's going to keep going on because we keep talking about it. I mean, you can't tell me that there ain't people watching, maybe not my, channel with less than 500 subscribers, but people like Meow and these other big places that pick them up. If we could get more, these real big podcasts to pick them up, these 50,000 subscriber people. And then you figure they reach out 50 subscribers, they may reach out to 2 million. And if
that would be like the most amazing thing ever. Yes. And I do know that, there has been some talks, and Galen does want to come on and she does want to be heard and she does want to share her story, but she also wants people to know that she's strong and she has plans for moving forward in a positive direction, and she wants to tell people about the foundation and how she wants to, go forth with that and help so many kids in need.
Yeah, well, that's awesome that she's doing that. And again, the fundraiser initially was subscribers. A couple creators probably bought things, but it was all subscribers for people that care about the case. And so I'm sure there's people in here that donated money or bought shirts or bought hoodies or did whatever they did. Even if you spread the word or shared videos, you help, because that's someone else that got in front of someone else's eyes. This person saw it, that person saw it. So
that's awesome. Yeah, no, like I said, I do know that Galen, she was talking to me yesterday. She does want to come on and do some live. So, I did tell her, of course, I may have showed the live of you where you had your Flora shirt on to Kathy and Galen yesterday, Coach Kev. I was like, look how cute Coach Kev is. He's wearing the Flora shirt doing a live. Yeah. And they were like, are you serious? I was like, yes, he's sporting the Flora shirt on a live panel, like just for no reason, because he wanted to, look at him sporting it. And they were just like over the moon. They just think you're adorable, don't you know?
Oh, hey, they're strong. I definitely respect strong people. And just the way that so much was handled with Flora. Like, you don't want to sit there Monday morning quarterback the fire department. You can do that, but okay. But for me, it was what happened that started it and what happened after. It's criminal. Yes. It is absolutely criminal what happened. And someone needs to go to prison. I don't mean just relieved of duty of their job. And that's what happened. People just kind of went away. And I was like, oh, that was good. That's not good enough, because this didn't result in someone's house burned down. Then they get money and they buy another house. No, 4 lives were lost. And this was just, as far as I could tell, there's not a lot has changed with SOPs or SOGs, standard operating procedures, standard operating guidelines there. The Carroll County fire number is still, 300% above the national average or something insane like that. People from around there are reaching out with me and giving me names of different landlords that they've had multiple structures catch on fire. Yes. And it seems to be accelerating. So is the housing market bad there? I don't know. I know where I am, the houses are flying off for crazy amounts. Or are you able to insure these houses for so much more money now, because the housing market's up? And now if you laid them on fire, you were going to get 125, but now you're getting 200. So there's no reason to do that. Someone laid that out for me from the insurance angle of it, an insurance person I was talking to. And I said, I never thought of that. And they're like, yeah, they would have to wait, X amount of time to get that money back. Or if they rented it, they'd have to wait 5 years. But if they burn it, they'll have a check in 6 months.
Right.
And
yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you guys have been on Meow Zedong's channel lately. I do believe on her community page you can pull it up, but it shows the insurance policy that they had out on that house, which is interesting. A lot of interesting things on that policy as far as the payouts.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. It's like specific. Now, I'm guessing too that was his natural thing. That was his natural policy. Oh, Kathy's in.
Kathy, is she really? Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Kathy, I hope everything's going good with you and everyone's good with the family tonight. Best as can be.
Oh, Kathy, I love you. I love you so much. She knows.
Just sharing some good Flora news, and Jinx was talking about you guys' day yesterday. Whoa. Trying to stay up with comments here, everyone.
It was a good, productive day. There was a lot of sweet moments. A lot of sweet moments for sure.
That's a good one, Dave. We could get Grizzly True Crime. She has a ton.
Grizzly's pretty awesome. I agree. She's got a fantastic group of people.
Ayers wouldn't be culpable. He wouldn't be on the hook for any more money. So this was simply civil court. There was no criminal charges or anything like that. So maybe, I mean, I kind of knew more of a background on it. So I knew kind of what was going on when Rick was saying it. So, but just to clarify, and I'm sure Jinx could clarify and Kathy probably better to me, but it was a civil case. So this would whatever, if there's a payout agreement reached, that would take them off the hook for any kind of, anything down the road, money wise or civilly, right? Not obviously not criminally.
I believe so. Yes. I want to say that's accurate. Yeah. Kathy, back me up.
Or even if people were in here have like a legal background.
Can't really, I'm not 100% sure. So
yeah, I don't think the two can overlap. And the only reason I know that is like the OJ thing, where OJ was found culpable for the murders, but then he couldn't use anything, in another trial, or I don't know. But maybe
Galen said to thank everyone for all the support and keeping her girls' memories alive. Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Well, there you go, everyone. That's for everyone in the chat. That's for everyone that talks, everyone that shared, bought a shirt. Shared a video, liked the video, anything. Talked about it at work.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know if they secured the street during the fire? No, Dave. I didn't see the whole video, but even pictures afterwards, just even seeing things that they taped. No, we would run tape from telephone pole to telephone pole probably, or we wouldn't put it on a car that was parked there because that would be evidence. But we would just there would be no one getting near the property, and the fire department's in control while it's on fire. So the fire department could come into your house and make you leave your house because it's on fire. You can't say, I don't care, or this, or we can make a neighbor leave their house. So I'm staying here. No, you have to leave. We're taking control of your house because there's an emergency that can impact the entire town, if this gets out of control, so to speak. But once the fire's out, the police take over. If you know that there's fatalities, they took them out of the house. But if you know there's fatalities, it becomes a huge, they start calling everybody. Here they'll call the county. If it's a fire, you might get a state police fire marshal or something like that. If they're finding it all, that's when you see your ATF come in, or your Department of Homeland Security in the state. And one of the people there was Dennis Randall, and Dennis Randall made a determination which he didn't use science. Right. So if you don't use science, what are you using? You're using your imagination. So Dennis Randall, King Friday, just made shit up. Obviously, that you would have been able to see the multiple accelerants everywhere. It got to the point that it was so bad that private investigators for the insurance company says they wrote the Department of Homeland Security and said, your investigators is so flawed and so wrong that we had to email you. And he didn't use science, was one of the quotes. And why would he do that? His son was the fire chief. His son told lies about Galen that was later proven false by the dash cam video. He went, he had a mental whatever. I don't know if he has any mental illness. I'm obviously, my heart goes out to him if that's the case. I don't know. He had mental breakdowns after this. He resigned after this. His dad resigned after this. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So I'm not saying that these guys lit this or did anything. I don't know. But I'm telling you right now that they fucked up the investigation so bad after that it's criminal. You understand? Yes. It's criminal. It's criminal. Yes. And these are deaths.
Absolutely.
This doesn't go away. Yeah.
No,
that's just a rant.
Talk about his back tattoo. I mean, Adam just got a full depiction of a fire and whatnot on his back.
Yeah.
Like, fool.
Yeah. And we know a pack of guys that they're firebugs from Flora. We know who all of them are. It's only a matter of time. Now, I'm not saying whether they had anything to do with the Galen's house or not, and the girls' deaths or not. I don't know, but we definitely are going to be able to put them in some of these things. And it's, you're stupid enough to share it on your social media and put it out there and do things like that.
Exactly.
And so, and then you tie them into other goofballs in their hate groups and things like that. And I thought all along that this was like a visionary type thing. This was someone that was, if it was religious or they were cleansing, they thought they were cleansing the area of something. That's how sick this individual is, in my opinion. And I started looking at the arsonists and the firebugs out there, the frequent flyers. I don't think it's them. I think this is almost like a Delphi situation where you're gonna be like, holy shit, that person did it. We didn't know that they harbored these weird feelings, and if you want to know what I'm talking about, go watch the movie American History X, because in my opinion, that's the road I'm starting to go down there now. And then there's some cloak of protection or something that goes on with those people, that those hate groups, or that one specific hate group, that I can't put it all together, but everyone's involved, not all with lighting the fire, but with the cover up after and moving this here or doing this and that. And they're all culpable and they're all looking out for each other.
I did want to talk really quick because somebody, Hawatha, I'm not really good.
Ayahuasca maybe, or a play on ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca, she said that the girls are in the most beautiful cemetery in the country, in her opinion. And you know what? They are in, like, I think it's like the second largest cemetery, honestly. And Kathy just reiterated that Galen did get the plot next to Keone. So that's the youngest. She gets to be by the baby. So that's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sorry. Hey, and guys, that's all because of everybody, like people in this chat, Yes, like I said before, you have, you might have 10 or 12 creators, but that's 10 or 12 times how many subscribers or people to watch.
Subscribers that are supporting and sharing, and the more that it's shared, the more people that can, I bought my hoodie, and then my husband ended up buying the second round of Flora shirts. He got him one, the same color as yours, Coach Cave, and then I had to get the pastel purple. I like purple, so.
And then you made the hoodie. Then you made the hoodie famous with that push bag
with the jail. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't know what happened. It just came up. Word moment.
Sorry, well, you know what? There was probably from hearing him scream at the first thing, I can imagine how many people were watching that live and thinking the same thing. Like, dude, again, why don't you shut the fuck up? Like,
right? Thank you. It just flew out, and I was like, well. And the funny thing is that was actually a lot of it was his own footage that he had put out, and I was just like, okay, fine. Well, you don't care. I'm gonna borrow this and show you all. Yeah. But it got Flora out there, and he's got like a lot of subscribers on Facebook apparently. I don't know, but it got a lot of people the word out through him. So honestly, I don't care. It raised awareness for Flora, so worth it.
Here's something. Whatever. I don't know if Kathy would know. Does anyone ever show the card I left during the fire? I don't know if we were talking about this, Linda, in maybe one of my comments or something.
Yeah, Meow, do you wanna come up and then I can hop down? Y'all can talk.
Oh, is Meow in here?
Yeah, she just came in. Yeah, she can come up. I'll hop down.
I'm behind. You could stay in too. I could put like 10 people in here. I don't I'm behind on comments.
Come on up. I know it's been a rough day, but yeah. So Everybody's just kind of
She
taking
has,
it in, absorbing everything from yesterday.
she has the, I sent her the thing. I'll put it in the chat again. I sent her the thing before, the link if she wants to come up. I'll probably, at the most, I'll probably stay another half an hour. Whoops, that's not the right link. That's a link for a funny video I was watching and I sent to my friend at work. Drunken people on golf carts.
Kathy said, "Give her a minute to get cute. She'll pop on up."
Okay, well, that's awesome. I just put it in the I put it in the thing in the chat here. It'll be coming up. Yeah, that's all. That's all. I didn't know that cemetery was that big. That's cool. That's
Yeah, yeah.
And it's nice for people to go back and visit to have something nice to see, or as nice as can be, at least peaceful.
Yeah, no, it is a really, really pretty place out there, you guys. Like there's there's literally deer that just walk around the cemetery moseying along. They said that the reason that they suggest people use the imitation flowers is because the real flowers, the deer come over and just munch on them away. Just
Yeah.
like,
All right. Yeah, well, we
got
should
to
have
see
Meow coming up here. Yes, well, this is kind of turned into Flora talk, which is fine because I left it up to everyone what they wanted to talk about, and this is what you want to talk about, and I'll talk about Flora till the cows come home.
Sorry. Happy yesterday inspiration. I'm still giddy from yesterday. Like it was just amazing. That was so beautiful just to sit there and watch Kaylin, and she picked everything out, and she picked that real pretty burgundy. I can't think of what it was called. Mahogany, I want to think is maybe the color that it was technically. It's like a cherry wood. Is that right? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Hold on a second. When I move my plug, sometimes my light goes funky. I'm still here though. Maybe I'll turn my regular light on. Give me 1 second, folks. I was worried about what she looks like. You can't even see me. Hold on. I don't know. I paid a whole $7 for this light and it doesn't work. I got it for $7. It's odd though.
I love me some thrift shopping. Shoot, that's like my forte right there.
I plugged my computer into charge, what has nothing to do or not even on the same line as this, but I do not know.
I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was talking to somebody. I was telling about where I grew up. We had this thing called the US 60 yard sale, and it basically stretches across the state of Kentucky because it's east to west, And you can go across the damn state and just go to yard sales that are all people's houses and stuff.
Hey, Meow.
You're muted.
Yeah. I don't have her muted. Oh.
No, she's got herself muted.
Is it her or me? It says unmuted.
No, it's her that's muted.
Oh, she's muted on her end. You're muted. Someone type it in while I try to get my light to work again.
Can't hear you. You have no sound.
Muted.
Oh, I think she got it.
Did you get it?
I'm muted?
Okay,
You're
not now.
Am I muted?
No, you're fine. You can hear.
You can hear you now. You're good.
Yeah.
No sound.
No sound. I don't have. Okay, let me try it on my computer.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're good. There's a delay.
Oh. I'm muted? No, you got it.
You're good. You got a delay.
Okay, I'm hearing her audio, so I'm like getting so fucking. Okay, sorry, Kathy.
Well, I'm gonna hop down. I have a few things I gotta go do. I didn't know how long I was gonna stay on, anyways. But thank you, Coach Kev. I'll see y'all later.
Thanks for coming up. Yeah, absolutely. See ya.
Hi. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was having problems too. My light went out. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh yeah, it's been all technical difficulties. Trust me, it is my Vietnam.
So Jinx filled us in kind of yesterday, a little bit, the broad strokes and the, stepping stone into the right direction for sure.
Yeah, the court, like,
yes,
it turned into the settlement conference where everyone was kind of discussing possible settlement agreements, like moving forward. I think it is good progress because it's the first step towards the actual. This is like the final steps here. But they did reveal, and during the case, which Kathy and I were at in the audience, we were the only people in the audience. So it was just Galen, Kathy, and I. And the defendants did not show up. It was just their lawyers representing them. So we were there, and we got to really like kind of hear like their opinions on what was going on, or the judge's opinion on what was going on. And he did reference a lot of the issues with the evidence, especially the smoke detector reoccurring or coming back in 2023 as found, and it was found in just right on, they really describe it as being found like just right on the counter, just like not hidden, just completely in plain view in the kitchen. So that's just not consistent with what we have heard, or what is consistent with the other experts. And the judge was very suspicious, right? Yes, the judge was very.
That's an odd place for a smoke detector to be found.
Okay, sit with me.
I'm not sitting with you.
Okay,
I'll sit with you 1 minute.
Okay. So yes, so Kathy and I were both there, and so we help fill each other in on the gaps. But yes, I felt like that it was at first started off really, really going after the plaintiff or Galen's case against the landlord, saying that she had a duty to notify, but she does insist that she was telling them all about these issues within the home, and among and the home being unsafe, among them being the smoke detector as well. But there is that thing that the judge really honed in on, and that was whether the code really demands that the landlord has to do it without having that like notification clause. And then the other thing that did come up was that they had no reason not to be demolishing the home, and they did order without even any basically the defendant's lawyers did not provide any comment on the home. I have no idea what that was. And yes, I did not provide any comment or anything like that. And so it was ordered to demolish the home. And that was what the town of Flora wanted. And there was no opposition from the plaintiff whatsoever. There was nothing about that.
Who's going to pay for the demolished home? Who's going to foot the bill?
I'm assuming. Oh yes, they did mention it was if they have available money to that would be coming from the defendants.
So the defendants, not the town?
I believe specifically, but I have to double check on that.
Well, the next thing, and maybe I was saying this to Jinx to look out for, is at one of these town council meetings or whatever they're called, look for them to maybe try to get some money from the town to tear it down, to say, hey, listen, this is a sore for the town. Why don't the town kick in the money and tear it down? And to me, that would be like something illegal to do, but I wouldn't put it past, Ayers being the head of the Greek council or whatever the hell you want to call it there. So,
right.
People that are keeping eyes on the case, try to make sure they don't pull that fast one. I've seen people do that before around here where I'm from.
Right. I mean, and I think there's a lot of an accountability factor. I think that they were also mentioning, and that's also that's been recently coming up in town government, which I've been like keeping an eye on, or local government, about this accountability issue within EMS, and so I've just been following that specifically too, because as things are coming out regarding the video, we realized that that wasn't even provided to the defense. That was never provided to the defense.
The
That came
video,
out to
the
them
dash
with
cam.
yeah, and they had it since 2021.
Huh.
So now it does point, because I did feel like throughout the thing it does point to a really big, huge oversight in ethics, huge oversight in accountability, huge problem, and really open corruption, it could seem.
Yeah. Either people are incredibly stupid or they're incredibly corrupt. I don't think there's a third option. Like,
At first, I got like, there were a few moments that I would get a little frustrated with what the judge would say, and I'd be like, hold me, you know what I mean? Because they're saying some things that you feel very strongly about this case, right? And I've been following it for a year, and obviously very emotionally invested in it too. And I want the best for Galen as well, and I want to see justice served here as well. Yeah, it was interesting. There were certain things that I would hope, like, I was like, oh, there's like, don't like how you said that, but there was a lot of things that made me actually instill a lot of faith in him as the judge on this case. And I think that Galen, Kathy, myself, we all kind of echo the same sort of sentiment on him, that we felt like that he recognized that there was clearly a miscarriage of justice done here, and of no fault of her own, and want to give her the best life that she can, and that's all we can hope for moving forward. But also, I think that there's a lot to be said about what does the public want from it, I guess.
do you think that there's a possibility that the judge kind of put the brakes on this because of the corruption, and he could say, listen, maybe someone outside needs to look at this better, and as a federal judge, he would have the pull to be able to do that, to kind of slow things down and use this.
I really don't know the politics, but it sounds like possible. Yeah.
Maybe this dude's just like the last, pure judge or whatever, I don't know. Is that possible?
I don't know. I can't speak to him because this is just like, I have not done any actual research other than my impression, but he did seem sincere, and I did hear he was conservative.
But he doesn't have any ties
towards settlement.
He has no ties to the area, right? I asked Jinx that too.
I haven't done my background.
Oh, okay. Well,
I haven't done my snoops.
Oh, that's okay. Well, it sounds like he was being pretty fair, though. If he was whatever, I don't know, but we'll hopefully.
He did want to push for a settlement, which I don't think is what we're hoping for.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, it'd be nice to have people pay on both ends, but but the real thing is, but like I told people, we were talking in other people's chats before. I think it was Rick's today, and they were, some people weren't sure about. There was some confusion of whether this is over. I said, no, this is like a stepping stone for the civil process. The criminal murder stays murder forever. So
there's also a lot of concerning details that come out with regards to the investigation. And I don't know how to make sense of all of it, but it's a lot. And I think it's of interest for the public to know.
Well, if you ever want, email it to me. Are you eating pizza? I'm jealous. I have celiacs. I could eat pizza, but not real pizza.
It's from the Blue Moose. It's pretty bad, but it's bad.
Oh,
It's better than Pizza King. Pizza King is a war crime. I swear to God, that's horrible.
It sounds that's a pretty generic name. They didn't put it in so yeah, I wouldn't bet it. But anyways, meow. I was Blue Moose. Look at Dave. Honeybee's out of here. Yeah, I was gonna plan on going about an hour. We're about an hour 10, and I appreciate you guys jumping in. Well, no. I appreciate you guys jumping in. And again, sorry, Kathy. Now Deb wants pizza. But is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here, meow? Yesterday, or just moving forward, or what could the people that are watching what can they do like to help with Flora?
Share, spread, like everything that you have been doing, but do it twice as much. Try and tell your friends, tell your family, tell your fucking pastor. I don't care who you fucking tell. Tell everyone you can about it, because it's something that like we should all be able to come together on and take something away from. And as real it is real. And I think that the story speaks for itself, and I think Galen speaks for herself also in this, and just evidence should. And so we have you guys, everyone who cares, you guys are making a difference. You can make a difference, and I love you so much for supporting me. And you guys, I hope that you guys really, I wish I could take this further on my own, and I just can't. And I need you guys. I need other people as much as I can get them to support and rally, because I'm not even from there. So I need every single person in this community who cares or who's watching this to just remember that you've got people who are supporting you and trying and want to be there to support you and uplift you guys, and everything that you've gone through in this. And yeah, I think that's every single person that I've seen here and met here has gone through something, and we just have to really build ourselves together and focus on the bigger picture, because we're so close to justice and we want to see justice seen. And I think it will be good. And I think we're on our way. So
I agree. Yeah. One more question. Linda's been asking. She asked me a few times. The car in the video, have they identified all the cars in the dash cam video? She thought one of them was Ayers'. Maybe was it the wife or something with the daughter? Do you know the cars in the video, if they've been identified?
I don't know the cars in the video, no. I just know that there was a car parked at the insurance building parking lot. That's where Josh Ayers said that he parked his vehicle when he drove to the scene.
So you don't know about the one that drives through, the one that drives through?
Yeah, I think casually? So. Right across.
That's the Ayers, that's Ayers' wife, or?
No, Josh Ayers himself. He drove there.
Okay, so you see the car moving in the video. That's him?
I don't know if we see it in the video, so I'm not sure. Okay. I would try and correlate certain timestamps with the video from.
The car out front, parked dead out front, was Galen's.
No, the one that was moving.
The car dead out front is Galen's.
The house was Galen's.
Right in front, dead out front on Columbia Street, not Division.
Yeah, I think she was talking about the car that was moving through the video. I don't know if she's still in there. She's asked me a few times, and I've not been able to get her the answer.
Yeah, we don't.
We believe it was Elizabeth Ayers.
I think it was Elizabeth Ayers.
Oh, that's who she asked, if it was Elizabeth.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it.
You guys think, but you're not sure. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. I hope that helps you, Linda. Yeah,
I hope that helps. Sorry.
Linda,
I'll probably make a more comprehensive thing.
We probably should. Yeah.
But I gotta put it all together.
Okay. Right. Keep doing what you're doing, and Kathy, hope everything goes good with you. Give Galen our love, and keep grinding, girl. That's all you can do.
Night, guys.
Do, right?
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, thanks for coming in. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys. Awesome. Meow and Kathy having some pizza, even though it's not that good. Maybe if it was from the Pizza King and Bill delivered it, I don't know. I got to say, in my opinion, the Ron Logan impression is better than better than the Bill Clinton impression. When he did the Ron Logan impression, I spit coffee out. I thought it was funny. But I want to thank everybody for coming in. Linda, I hope you got an answer for that there. We have Bossy. Look in their story noon about the house. Yeah, well, all that stuff will, and at the very least, Bossy, it'll be like, oh, we forgot about that, or maybe. So if you tear it down, don't just leave an empty lot, put something up. Or if the city does tear it down and they'll say that's our property, what I don't want to happen is them tear it down and the homeowners keep the property. Not looking for that. But thanks everybody for coming in. Jinx, Meow, Kathy, everybody in chat. Dave, get on that fantasy football league. I enjoy doing this. I'll do these again if people ever want to come in and talk. And this just all got Flora talk, right? We were talking about a whole bunch of different shit, but that's the crowd, man. That's us, right? That's one of the cases that we all got to get it over. We got to finish it. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Deb. Thank you, everybody. Mods, everybody was great as always. Thank you again, and I shared my Discord before. You could reach me in there, Kevlar148, gmail.com or Kevlar148, hotmail.com, using them both equally. So I work tomorrow. It's Friday night in the city, so cross your fingers for me. I won't plan on doing any sleeping, and more than likely all hell will break loose. But the game is the game, right? So I'll take the go at the bat. All right, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. Great couple of days for me here on YouTube. Got more subscribers, more likes, doing great. And that's because of everyone here, and I appreciate it. I'll get my $7 light fixed, or I'll break down and I'll buy the $11 one next time, which maybe will last 2 months instead of 1. All right, everybody, before we get out of here, we'll say tentacles, because there's tentacles, right? All kind of tentacles. All right, everyone. Thanks again. Coach Kev out.